Instagram and on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. It is Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. If you are my channel, I am an 11-year university trained classical singer turned contemporary style voice coach to professional opera singers and bel canto voice teachers. And what I do now is help that same people group learn how to sing contemporary music without sounding operatic. So hello and welcome. So today I want to talk to you about singing with soul, because these are some things that come up in my studio. And so to you all and have a little bit of a discussion about singing with soul. And I want to kick the conversation off with what soul is. What a lot of times coming from classical singing, it can be very rigid and very scripted. Sing non-classical styles, there's a lot more liberty and freedom. And sometimes we get over there and then we start to overcorrect and overdo stuff because we're trying to compensate, you know what I mean, for like sounding classical. So then we start over singing and doing stuff. So let's hit it. What soul, singing with soul, what is not? It is not just a genre or a single musical ingredient. So when I say a single musical ingredient, here are some of the ingredients that I see online a lot, and even in my studio, which I'll try to do to compensate coming from a classical background. So singing with soul is not artificially darkening, rich, or soulful. It ain't that. So singing with soul is not singing at 100% volume. Singing with soul is not brassy, twangy sounds that cut or pierce. Some of y'all, in an attempt to sound more powerful coming from a classical singing background, y'all will plant that twangy sound right here, and you know it's piercing and you think that's really giving it. That's not soul, guys. Okay, again, singing with soul, it is not over singing. So that means it's not doing mass runs and riffs and putting fills in all of the open portions of your music. Okay, that's not soul. Soul is also not stretching your M1 chest voice beyond what you can control. All of those are individual ingredients that I see in my studio, and y'all are trying to compensate. It's not that. So let's talk about what soul is. Soul is the humanness of singing, guys. It's the human expressive power that only a human being can do. Singing with soul is the stuff that Siri and Alexa and all these other AI dummies cannot do. I don't care how much AI music, they try to produce and put out. They can never replace the human being singing from their soul with that God-given human expressiveness. That's what singing with soul is. It's not limited to a genre. You can sing in lots of genres and have soul, okay? Singing with soul, it is communicating the creativity in your mind and heart. That's what soul is. Soul is believable storytelling. Believable storytelling, okay? And soul is producing sounds with conviction or with full belief. That's what singing with soul is, okay? So let's talk about, when do you have soul? So what I mean is, like, when you're getting up to sing, when does it come across to the listener like, oh, they're singing with soul, this is powerful, this is soulful, this is real, this is authentic? Those are words that we use. People names on here that I recognize. I usually don't stop while I'm talking, but I recognize, I'm gonna wave at y'all. I recognize a couple of y'all. Hello. Thanks for being here live. So when do you have soul? You have soul, classical singers, when you allow your voice to respond to how you feel about what you're saying. When you allow your voice to respond. And often the response is spontaneous. It's not always planned. It's not always scripted, like that classical rep that you used to sing it ain't that, okay? It's not planned, but it is inspired. is motivated by something real that you connect to, that's when you sound like you're singing with soul. Okay, when you allow your voice to. Another time when you sound like you're singing with soul, when you have clear intention and perspectives about what you're saying. And this is something that I have been talking to my classical singers about a lot recently. You cannot just get up and say, hey, I want to sing this song in this jazz style, or I want to sing in this musical theater style, or just pick a style and try to throw a couple of style elements in there and think you really giving it. Like, y'all, it's not that. All of these different genres and stuff that y'all want to sing in, they come from a cultural context. They come from something. And if you have not immersed yourself in that, an immersion, it doesn't mean you have to physically be where the music is happening. Now, if you can, that's always the best. But if you have not taken time to study and listen to the music, go on YouTube, listen to multiple artists in that genre that you like, and just immerse yourself in that, it's going to be hard for you to sing with soul. It's going to be hard for you to have a clear intention and a perspective, because you really don't know the context. But even if you don't know the context, let's say there's an audition coming up and you ain't got time to do all that research, okay? Even if you don't know the context, classical singers, you have to learn how to become a great storyteller. You have to learn how to sing from a place of motivation and having a clear actor's intent. That is something that has to be practiced. We are so drilled coming out of focus on our singing voice and what our voice is doing, and does my voice into the story really? We're not able to focus on the accompaniment instruments are doing. They're telling the story with us. We ain't even aware. We're not aware of rhythms. All we thinking about is our voice. And that's not the same when you cross over to sing contemporary music. You have to become aware of those other things, and you have to learn how to get a strong perspective about what you're saying. I shouldn't say strong, but a clear perspective about what you are communicating in your song. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So when do you have soul? You have soul when you trust your technique and when you just flow. When you release the need to control every sound that you make. Everything just like this because we come out of classical singing and you have to sing the Mozart and the Bach and the Brahms just like it is. No, it's not that. That's not the goal. So once you can trust your technique and flow, now in order to trust your technique, you got to practice. Okay, you have to practice freeing yourself up to flow. Once you do that, once you practice and it's time to perform, you can trust the work that you've done and allow your voice to follow your intent. Okay. Another thing, when do you have soul? This is kind of a repetition, but I'll say it again. When you immerse yourself in the cultural context of the music you want to perform. I got ahead of myself. This gives you more knowledge and it gives you confidence to flow authentically. Okay, so when you go to live shows, you can watch documentaries, you can read, you can do lots of listening. That's going to give you the confidence to flow, so you kind of know what to choose. It can be really hard coming from a classical singing background and then you are cross-training or crossing over to sing contemporary styles, and it's like telling you, or a coach is telling you just flow. It's like, I don't really know how to flow. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what options I have. Do you know what I mean? When you immerse yourself in the culture, when you attain the knowledge of more of the context that's around that singing, and you listen to a lot of singers and you watch a lot of performances, it'll give you things to choose from. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you don't feel like I got choices, but I don't know what to pick. Okay? And I think that's my last one. So that's when you have soul, when you do those things. I won't repeat it. So how is soul expressed? Now, these are the things that y'all are familiar with, and these are the things that y'all just want to like learn the music and just throw these little styling things on there. But it's really not like that. That's not. Immerse yourself in it, understand the context, and then work on singing. So how soul can be expressed? It can be expressed through phrasing, the way you phrase things. It can be expressed through timing, note bends, dynamic choices, different harmonies, instrumental pairings, vibrato, growls, legato, straight tone, pocket and groove, swing, call and response. Y'all, there are chords, chord progressions, harmonies. I think I already said that. There are so many ways to express the humanness, right? To express your soul, to express how you feel about a thing. Okay. So again, we want to get out of the mindset that, like, okay, in order for me to sound soulful, I have to hyperextend my chest voice to where I can't control. That's not soul, that's strain. And that doesn't sound good, guys. Okay. So we're going to get away from these little quick fixes, from these tips and these tricks that we try to just insert into something that we don't know nothing about. I would encourage you to slow down. I would encourage my classical singers as much as possible, learn about the genres that you want to sing in, learn what it sounds like by immersing yourself in that sound. And then, I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. And then you will sound authentic. You don't have to try to perform, or you don't have to try to just slap some styling on top of some type of old technique and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to piecemeal it, but it'll come out of you authentically. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is work on your acting thought and intention. Work on those acting skills. Learning how to focus, right? When we're singing, not just thinking about the voice, but learning how to have a strong mental picture and to keep that picture progress or whatever, so that your story is interesting and it's real and you're able to present those things with conviction. I'm done. Any questions, any things? Replay watchers, I appreciate you guys. You can drop your questions or your thoughts in the chat. I think I'm going to come back with a part 2 of this later on, and we're going to do some listening together, some live listening, so you can hear some examples of soul, and we can kind of talk through what makes this sound soulful in different genres. I think I'm going to do that next, but today I just wanted to talk about what soul is not and what soul is. Any questions, any thoughts? Hey, Yael. I am pretty much done. Any thoughts, any takeaways, any things? If not, it's all good. I hope this was helpful to you. Okay, I'm going to hop off. I will see you guys later. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.